Welcome back to Top X Mystery Research Channel. Long stories about fearsome mythical creatures date back centuries. These wicked fear-inducing monsters cause nightmares in every part of the world. Not only do they scare children, some of these stories are so scary that even adults hide under the covers. Here are 17 of the most fearsome mythical creatures around the world. The spine-chilling Wendigo strikes fear into the hearts of its victims. It appears mainly in winter and loves the north. The monster terrorized the Algonquin, Ojibwe, Cree, Saulteaux, Inus, and Europeans along the Great Lakes, in the forests of the east coast of Canada, and on the plains of the United States. The myth of the Wendigo or Wendigo exists in several Indian and native cultures. Therefore the description varies from region to region. In some cultures, the fearsome creature has grayish skin that is so tight that its bones show through. Others believe it is a giant cannibal that possesses humans. There really is nothing worse than a terrible bad dream in the middle of the night. Some people think that scary movies or eating late at night cause bad dreams. According to Norse mythology, the evil creature the mare is responsible for causing terrible nightmares. Actually, the word nightmare comes from a creature that causes panic. An evil demon causes nightmares when it sits on a person's chest in the middle of the night. Now that's a nightmare. The mare is one of the most feared creatures in Norse mythology. In Japanese folklore, a mythical creature so terrifying that it makes Godzilla run in the opposite direction. Jorogamo is indeed one of the scariest mythical creatures and is sure to creep into some nightmares tonight. According to legend, the supernatural creature Jorogamo is a 400-year-old giant spider that loves to devour young men. Of course, some trickery is required to get these men into her web. Therefore, the demon transforms into a beautiful young woman to seduce her unsuspecting victims before eating them. The evil creature known as Black Annis is a heart-stopping demon that haunts the nightmares of young children. In English folklore, Black Annis is a wicked witch with iron claws and a cold blue face. According to the myth, a monster hunts children in the English countryside and brings them back to their mountains. Black Annis loves the taste of human flesh, especially if it is a child. Black Annis is easily one of the most terrifying mythical creatures in history. Mysterious creature the Bray Road Beast has been terrorizing Walworth County, Wisconsin for decades. According to legend, the animal is a werewolf that first appeared in the area in the late 1930s. The most recent sightings occurred in 2018 and 2020. Several witnesses encountered the animal on Bray Road and described the creature as a human-wolf hybrid with red eyes. In some cases, it chased the witness and left scratch marks on the cars. Other witnesses say it just ran away. The Beast of Bray Road is one of the scariest mythical creatures and can still roam the district. In Greek mythology, several terrifying creatures make it difficult to sleep at night. But few compare the mythical creature to a chimera. The fire-breathing creature has the head and body of a lion with a goat's head on its back and a snake-headed tail. The monster combines the fiercest and most evil animals in history. Evil blood runs through the chimera's veins. The creature is the child of the monstrous serpent, Typhon, and the half-woman half-snake Echidna. It also has evil siblings like the Lernaean Hydra and Cerberus. The Loch Ness Monster is one of the most famous mythical creatures in history. It features in Scottish folklore and is even nicknamed Nessie. Sightings of Loch Ness date back to the 6th century and as recently as 2014. However, a sighting in 1933 made the creature a global phenomenon. Its name comes from the area where it is most commonly found, Loch Ness in Scotland. The giant sea monster has big bumps and a long neck. As the creature hunts for prey in the ocean, massive ridges protrude from the water. The legend of La Llorona is one of the scariest stories. According to folklore, she was a mother who drowned her 2 children and felt an immediate sense of guilt. She committed suicide but did not reach the afterlife. Instead, the demon is stuck on the earth looking for her children. The story of La Llorona takes place mainly in Mexico, Venezuela, and some of the United States. However, the legend originates from the 1550s in ancient Mexico. For centuries, parents have warned their children that if they wander in the dark, the evil La Llorona will rob and drown them. The vengeful ghost continues to strike fear into the hearts of children around the world. The Japanese mythical creature Bake-Kujira is one of the most terrifying monsters in history. Small children need not fear, however. On the other hand, fishermen who hunt whales should be afraid. According to legend, Bake-Kujira is a yokai or strange phantom ghost. It resembles a giant whale skeleton and swims in the sea with strange-looking fish. Bake-Kujira usually targets fishermen and whaling villages. However, the monster does not only attack the village. Instead, the creature curses villages with plagues, famine, and other disasters. Even mystical creatures with good intentions can still raise the hair on the back of our necks. The Banshee features in Irish folklore with her terrifying cry and spine-chilling scream. The creature may look like a beautiful woman, but underneath is an ugly old monster with pale complexion. She often seems to inform the family of imminent death. However, she plans to let the family cherish the last days of a loved one's life. Regardless, she is one of the most terrifying creatures in Irish folklore. In North America, the Jersey Devil is the most terrifying mythical creature. It is usually a creature with the body of a kangaroo and the head of a horse, with red eyes, claws, horns, and bat-like wings. According to legend, the Jersey Devil lives in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. In the 18th century, Mother Leeds gave birth to her 13th child, but cursed it. It became alive and flew out of the chimney. The Jersey Devil was first seen in the late 1800s and more were seen in 1905. Reports continued in the 1930s, 1950s, and 1960s. Deep in the dark forest lives a creature so terrible that it makes grown men weep with fear. This terrifying mythological creature is known as Baba Yaga. Slavic folklore describes Baba Yaga as an old, thin witch who lives in the deepest, darkest part of the forest. Parents use scary stories to keep their children from wandering into the woods. Sometimes Baba Yaga simply teaches children to respect the forest. Sometimes she kidnaps children and takes them back to her home in the dark forest. The Minotaur is one of the most terrifying creatures in Greek mythology. The evil monster has the head and tail of a bull, but the body of a man. Besides, he is happy to eat people. He is the child of the wife of King Minos who fell in love with a Cretan bull. A Greek monster terrorizes his victims in this mythical horror story. According to legend, King Minos created a labyrinth that the Minotaur called his home. However, the king often sent his enemies into the labyrinth so that the Minotaur could eat them. Ness monster is not the only creature that hides in the sea. According to legend, the Iroquois and early Europeans had many encounters with a sea creature called Champ. In fact, the last sightings occurred in 2005. Similar Champ sightings have been reported in Quebec, Vermont, and New York. Witnesses describe Champ as a giant sea monster with 3 teeth and strange colored eyes. In the late 1970s, a photo showed Champ's head in a lake. The terrifying mythical creature is a major tourist attraction in New York and Vermont. According to legend, the fearsome Chupacabra is a giant vampire-type cannibalistic creature. It often sucks blood from goats and cows. In Chile, Maine, Russia, and the southwestern United States, whispers of this creature have existed for decades. However, a sighting in Puerto Rico in 1995 gained international fame as a monster. The appearance of Chupacabra varies from region to region. For example, the Chupacabra in Puerto Rico is the size of a small coyote, with reptilian features and a jagged spine that extends to the tail. In the United States, the urban legend looks like a small but vicious dog with teeth and giant muscles. Sightings of the creature continue to this day. The terrifying Manananggal is one of the most terrifying mythological creatures in Philippine folklore. During the night, it transforms into a grotesque monster with bat-like wings, vampire teeth, and an elongated tongue. If that's not scary enough, it can separate the upper body from the lower body. It exploits easy victims like a sleeping person. But it also targets pregnant women and sucks the fetal heart. The only way to defeat the deadly creature is to smear salt or holy water on the lower body. La Segua is a fearsome creature in Nicaraguan folklore, but her terrifying stories are told throughout Central America, including Mexico, Spain, El Salvador, and Panama. La Segua is a shapeshifter who usually disguises herself as a beautiful woman with long hair to seduce unfaithful men. Of course, men can only see her from behind. When La Segua turns around, she reveals a disturbing horse-face skull. The sight of her grotesque face is enough to make cheating men go insane. So, out of all of them, which creature do you think is the scariest? Leave your answer in the comments below.